off. Let's keep it out west. And guys, I know we're saying this is in the West region, but this game is being played in Providence, and it is Rick Pitino against John Calipari. I know he says they're not playing one-on-one. It's not coach versus coach, but let's face it, this is the cinema the NCAA selection committee had in mind when they made this bracket. We are getting it in the city where Rick Pitino previously coached and is still beloved. And I think it is going to be an absolutely phenomenal atmosphere. Trotter, are you going with the Johnnies, or is there any way Calipari pulls off an upset?
Well, I do like the way that Arkansas is playing, and they could get healthy, right? Aduthiero is potentially going to be able to practice and potentially get back for that round of 32 game. But I'm kind of with you. I like the matchup for St. John's in a lot of different ways. Arkansas this year has struggled in isolation scoring. That's what St. John's forces you to do. The best, most switchable team in college basketball. I think Zuby Ejiofor looms extremely large in this one. He would have been my pick for Big East Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to have to guard on the perimeter against DJ Wagner, against Nelly Davis. He's going to have to be asked to go up against Jonas Adu, who had a huge game against Kansas. I just think that St. John's defensively can bottle Arkansas up enough and limit some of those transition opportunities that Kansas was unable to do.
Chris, what do you think?
Frank, I've been dancing on both sides of the fence this entire show, but here's what I'm going to do. You mentioned the word. You mentioned word cinema. These two guys are auditioning for Godfather 10. Who's going to play Vito Corleone? Because both of them are the godfathers, right, in college basketball right now. But I'll say this. Kansas last night went zone, and it disturbed me the way Arkansas played against the zone. Now, you're talking about St. John's and their switching defense. That's almost zone-like, right? The question is, can St. John's play if they get in foul trouble? They got in foul trouble last night, but they were playing Omaha. And guess what, guys? They got out-rebounded by Arkansas. Wow. But here's the thing. They made 14 threes. If they make 14 threes, they're going to the Final Four. Arkansas has, I believe, they're more athletic, right? They're longer. And if Ethereal comes back, that bodes well from them. But at the end of the day, I'm taking the Johnnies to move on just because. And here's the last thing I'll say. No one on that team's been in the NCAA tournament. So this is going to be an interesting game. And you're right. Zuby Ejiofor should have been Defensive Player of the Year. This is going to be a knock me out, drag me out game. But I am still looking at the guys on the sideline. That is where the theater is, and that's where the cameras are going to be.
All right, let me make a couple counterpoints about Arkansas, because credit where credit is due. Boogie Flan came back after about 2 months out, and I was worried how this would impact the team's chemistry, their rhythm, but he was able to step in and not disrupt anything, and that is a very hard thing to do. When you've missed that much time, to come back in and not have it be detrimental to the flow of the team, give Boogie Flan a whole lot of credit for that one. Another factor that I think is going to be really interesting here, what is Ivicic's role in this one? Can he pull Ejiofor away from the rim? I think that could really impact St. John's chances. But, Chris, I can't agree more with what you just said. If St. John's makes 14 threes, they're beating anyone, because this is not a good shooting team. This is not a team that takes a lot of threes. If they are taking and making threes, they are almost unbeatable. We're going to see Saturday in Providence. It's going to be a heck of a game.